Now, protests across the country are calling for police reform and more transparency. In rallies, including here in Omaha, some accuse police of excessive force. Our 3 News Now investigative team tried to get body camera footage, but were denied. Jeff Van Sant looks into how a department can deny the release of footage.
Protests have rocked the nation, demanding police reform, real ground-up changes in department policy towards the use of force, and accusations of systematic racism. In late May, early June, hundreds took to the streets in Omaha. We saw firsthand what some considered the police response as excessive. Our 3 News Now investigative photographer caught this incident on camera near 72nd and Dodge. Some kind of projectile hit a protester and exploded. According to police, they shouldn't be aiming that high. And some of our reporters were caught up in the fray and pushed around by police. We requested body camera footage of the protester getting hit, giving the day, time, right down to the second. Our request was denied, and it's all perfectly legal.
We have exercised our right to use the exception in the Public Records Act to withhold them from public dissemination.
Bernard Inden-Bosch is deputy city attorney in Omaha. Body camera footage can be requested and some can be released, but it's up to the police chief to make that call.
There are certainly times, and you're certainly aware of them, where there are major incidents or whatever else that he may release a portion of body camera video, but for the most part, I think that's a policy decision that we are going to keep that investigative material confidential in the same manner we treat the other.
The state legislature has given the power to law enforcement to make the call on how to best utilize body camera footage.
And that's one of those areas that there is some murkiness about how body cam footage may be utilized in context of our strong tradition of open government in Nebraska.
Danielle Conrad is the head of the ACLU of Nebraska.
People have a heightened public interest in trying to get a better handle about what happened with recent protests, for example. There's some roadblocks out there when journalists and attorneys and others are trying to figure out, well, can we access that video camera footage?
Put your hands up right now.
Body cameras can help give context to an incident, like this video released just last week showing Minneapolis officers first interacting with George Floyd before being allegedly choked to death by one of the officers. Here in Omaha, getting any kind of body camera footage is nearly impossible. An example, an officer-involved shooting on New Year's Eve in 2019 at Evans Tower. Police only release these stills from a body camera. And even after the case is prosecuted, they can keep that video sealed.
There is still sensitive information in our videos and in our reports about other people that were involved. You might have people who are worried about taking retribution against somebody. You might have confidential information in there.
Body cameras aren't required by law here in Nebraska. It can be costly, tough to integrate, but at the same time, it can give the public a sense of transparency from their police departments. The ACLU would love to see changes.
The people have a right to know and to see what's happening with their public dollars, which of course funds all of our police departments and their enforcement activities.
Jeff Van Sant, 3 News Now.
Now, we also on Facebook this morning, if you think body cameras should be public record, about 85% of you said they should be.